excited about this conference.
So I hope that after the conference, there's gonna be more action in this topic.
I'm looking forward for our issues to be heard.
My expectation is that we are going to end child marriages.
So welcome to our AGYW Africa Conference 2021. It's the first ever high-level conference to be held by TaLI International.
Hello, Africa. The conference is for young women. We need to be proactive. We need to have AGYW, adolescent girls and young women at the table, being able to speak on behalf of their own issues.
Kenya has very amazing policies, and as per what I've already told you, the huge gap is in terms of implementation. We are yet to achieve the two-thirds gender rule, and even as we get closer to that, the affirmative action is yet to be put fully in place. And then when we consider elements of age, the number of women occupying these political spaces, how many of them are within the age group of young women? Commit and identify the gaps, the injustices, even within ourselves, the biases that we have towards adolescent girls and young women in their diversity.
Uganda is ranked amongst the African countries with the most prevalent teenage pregnancies and teenage birth rates.
In Rwanda, since 2000, there have been some policies adopted and revised to make it safer for women and young girls to live their lives, although we can't say that all barriers have been receded, but some achievements have been registered and referenced the prior time. Again, this didn't change the social structure, but it opened doors for women and girls to actively participate in income-generating activities.
According to our education policy and the curriculum, all adolescent girls and young women are supposed to be at school. But some are not in school due to different challenges, which are poor education environment, poor policies, poor health and sanitation. A lot of young women and adolescent girls, they don't want to participate in issues of politics because they know at the end of the day it's harassment for them.
Before the pandemic, we had various problems, forced marriage, early marriage included, but after the pandemic, we have seen that these problems have been worsened just because presence of climatic conditions, changes, and presence of poor government constructions in prioritizing the health of these young adolescent girls and women.
People living with disabilities don't have much access to resources. Someone from Liberia said, if someone is disabled, it doesn't mean that they can do anything. So disability doesn't mean inability. The civil society needs to be part of the problem solving. They need to make collaborations with international organizations and huge structures like UNICEF so that we get funding.
Students spend a lot of time doing care work. We know that care work is actually it's a burden on adolescent girls and young women.
First challenges that adolescent girls and young women are facing, and some of them have to do with harmful social and cultural practices such as patriarchy, whereby women do not have a voice, women are not allowed to, women are only expected to embrace male dominance.
Some of the issues affecting young women and girls in Sierra Leone, including women and girls with disabilities, are issues related to sexual-related gender-based violence.
My name is Chinga. We are going to be developing a communique. So this is a document that's widely accepted as an official statement. Strictly speaking, it's issued by somebody who is an authority to the lower roots, which is the grassroots levels. But in our case, when we come up with communiques, this is an official demand document in the sense that we have to represent ourselves. So when we are developing a communique, all we are saying is this is official coming from us, and we have deliberated on this, and we have come up with a position, and around that position there are also recommendations. So when we develop a communique, it's probably targeting that person who is the decision maker. So we can have local leaders who are community leaders, we can have national leaders who are usually our legislators or members of parliament. We can have regional change makers, which are regional bodies. For instance, we have the SADC, we have COMESA, we also have even the African Union. So these are our targets when we develop a communique. Lastly, the main aim of a communique is actually to put down ideas in a clear and concise manner, targeting a specific group of people, e.g., like I said, local, national, regional, or international leaders.
Zimwe nguva upenyu unovava, pfumvu ngavaira, zitate guru renhamo chairo. Vabereki vaenda kwamfiganebwe, vanasara pavana vondibata chibaro, vondibata unapwa. Majaira kujazwe kukwata, majaira kujazwe kukwata, majaira kujazwe kukwata, majaira kujazwe kukwata. Kuwe kakuyo karibe wawa, kuwe kakuyo karubeza, kuwe kakuyo karibe wawa, kuwe kakuyo karubeza.
The girls came together and they wrote their story. So we have got a communique, which is the immediate demands that they met. I think the beauty of it is the girls themselves accepted the platform.
The conference resolved to share those communiques with national, regional, and international decision makers.
Governments need to deliberately include girls and young women in decision making.
Provide youth government subsidies on education, SIHR, gender-based violence, mitigation, and climate change mitigation.
Moving forward as part of this campaign, what we want to see is we would appreciate your support in spaces that you are in with your beginning with your governments. May you be our ambassadors. May you talk about this initiative. May you bring us to conversations. May you bring us to opportunities.